And welcome to option number 2 of making a granny square. In this particular option, what we're going to do is not do a continuous round as I explained in the introduction video. And what we're going to do is turn the work and go back in the opposite direction. So we go there and then back. So we never go in a continuous circle. So option number 1, we did that. We did a continuous circle and we went around and around and around until we got to the size that we wanted to get to. And this method here, it causes the center to slightly skew. Okay, so it goes bias, they say. And so that is an option. So we also have another one here where the colors here went around in a circle. So if you go and just follow it around, you're going to notice that even when we got to the next round, it looks like it's continuously going like so. The method that I'm about to show you here in method number 2, this would not happen. So it would be a definite line down one corner here that would look out of place. And I have an example to show you. So this is an example here. So we've gone around and we came up and we attached and then we went back in the opposite direction. And then we came around, and when we build up, we came up and then went back in the opposite direction. So you're going to notice is that when it does that, you get two that build on top of each other, but the other half of the corner will look out of place because it's never going to be the same color ever. So it's just going to come back around. So when I hit this blue, I stopped, I connected, I turned it, and I went back in the opposite direction. The bigger that you go for this, the more this stands in your face. So if you were working with a color that is doing something like this, you may not want to choose this option unless this does not bother you, but it bothers me. It just makes my skin crawl, for a lack of a better term. So I would never take my eyes off this color or off this corner because it'll always look here. So in my opinion, the white should have come around and continued along, but it went there and we went back in the opposite direction. So you have to determine what you want to do. You can still control your colors doing this particular concept if you were doing regular solid colors and etc. But with the self-striping yarn such as this, you'll end up with this. So I'm going to assume that you know how to crochet or hold your hook and do the basic of stitches. I'm going to go at a beginner pace so that you understand this concept, and I will take you through a few rounds. We're going to begin with what is called as a slip knot. Okay, so you're going to take the end of here and you're going to just wrap it over your finger twice. Open your hand and use your fingers to pinch. Take this one here and move it up over to here. I call this as the leapfrog. Take the new back one, just pinch it, pull it up, and jump over top of your finger, and this here is your starting slip knot. Okay, so let's do it again. So point over your finger. You have to make sure that the one in the front of your finger here is the loose end. It's the short end. You're going to pinch, and then just take the first one, go up and over, but not off your finger, and then take your new one up and over and right off. And that's your slip knot. So if you were doing it in real time, you don't need a lot of yarn left over on the end of on the end. Take your hook and insert it into your slip knot. And when you pull, you're going to pull the yarn ball side and it's going to tighten up onto the hook. Don't tighten it to the point where you can't move it. Okay, this is not tying down something. This is just having it rest. So the anatomy of the needle, we have the head, we have the throat, we have the shaft. We always have to make sure that we're playing with the shaft because the shaft is dictating the size of the stitch. So when you see the yarn ball labels and it's telling you what size hook to use, it's based on the shaft size that matches this yarn the best. So you're going to just position your hands and pinch your knot. And I'm going to assume that you know how to hold your hook. If not, we do have tutorials available for absolute beginners of starting right from scratch. And we're going to begin our center ring. To begin the center ring, we're going to chain 4. The distance of the center of the ring varies depending on what design, but we're going to do the traditional granny today. And so the slip knot that's on here never counts as one. So you never say this is one and then start when you start as number 2. You always start fresh. So you're going to shift the hook forward, and this is called yarn over, or I say scooping it as a slang. So you push the hook backward into the yarn, turn the hook upside down, and pull through. And this is 1 of 4. You need to push the shaft so that it goes and rests right here. This is the distance of the size of the stitch. If you stay down here, you will never have consistency. You can let go of everything, reposition your hand, and do another chain. We need to do 4 of them. So pull forward, turn over, and pull through. That's number 2. Reposition, forward, yarn over, pull through, forward, reposition, yarn over, and pull through. So that's 4 chains. So I can tell that if I look at it underneath, so I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the slip knot disappears, so it never stays as an extra stitch. And we need to form the center ring, and how we do that is that we're going to come to this one right here. Okay, that's your 4th one away. It's your beginning one, and you're going to insert the hook into that chain. You're going to yarn over, scoop the yarn, and pull through the chain there, and also through the other loop that's on the hook. And what this has done is it's turned the chain so it's into a circle. So this is called the center ring. In patterns it says crochet into the ring. This is your ring. You are going to take the loose end now and just wrap it around the outside of that, and as you're crocheting round number 1, you're going to trap that into position. And we're going to begin round number 1 next. So I'm going to teach you my method on how I prefer to start and how I prefer to connect. If you know a different way and you prefer a different way, by all means, do it your way. You're going to chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet. So wrap the hook. So yarn over, pull through once, and do that 3 times. So we got once, reposition, push the hook forward, yarn over, pull through, push forward, reposition, yarn over, and pull through, and then push the hook forward. So you have it technically 3 chains there. That is the equivalent of double crochet. And in the center ring, we're going to apply 2 double crochet. So when you're crocheting, crochet right up over top of this straggler to catch it into that interior of that ring. To do a double crochet, you are going to wrap the hook, so yarn over, and take it with you to go right into the center of the ring. You can open it up with your fingers if you don't see it, but it will stay open once you start playing with it. And then just stick your hook into the ring. Yarn over, pull through. This now attach that stitch to the ring, and there's 3 loops on your hook. You are going to yarn over and pull through just 2 loops. And then push the hook forward, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops. That's a double crochet. I'm grabbing the straggler so I catch it around, so it's just pinched with that ring, and you start another double crochet. So scoop the yarn, so yarning over, going into the center of the ring. Go through. Yarning over, pulling it through, and now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So each side of the first round has 3 double crochet. So the chain 3 equals 1, and then these 2 here. So that gives you 3. Each of these are called a post. So the double crochet, it's a post, and I'll be referencing something like that in the future in this tutorial today. To turn and make a corner for the way that I prefer to chain 2. Other designers prefer to chain 3. I think chain 2 looks better, but that's my opinion. You decide what you prefer. So I'm only going to chain 2, so move the hook forward, yarning over, pulling it through that loop. That's a chain. Move the hook forward, yarning over, and pull through. That's 2 chains. We're going to go back to the center of the ring and apply 3 double crochet into the ring. So you're going to yarn over and take it with you to the center of the ring. So it just is wrapped around your hook. Yarning over, pulling it through. And if you look at it, there's only 3 loops on your hook. Move forward, yarning over, pulling it through 2. Move forward, yarning over, pulling it through 2. Okay, do another one. So you're going to yarn over, go into the center of the ring, take it with you, and into the ring. You're going to yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, yarn over and start another double crochet, take it with you to the ring. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So we now have our 3 double crochet that are on this side of the square. So we need to make a new corner, so we're going to chain 2. See how the straggler is getting buried inside the stitch? That's what you're looking for, so you don't have to weave that in with the tapestry needle later. Place 3 more double crochet into the ring. So for regular traditional granny squares, things are usually always in groups of 3. And now we have 3 double crochets on this side. So we have one side that's missing so far. So to turn the work in the corners, it's chain 2. Let me know what you decided, whether it was a chain 2 or a chain 3. There's no wrong answer, it's what you prefer. So coming into the center, 3 more double crochet. So now we have all 4 sides done. So what's missing is the beginning corner. This is the way that I prefer to connect. If you want a different way, here's the thing. If you chain 2 like it normally says and slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, let me just demonstrate and show you. What happens when you start the next round, see where the hook is? You're actually sitting over top of our first stitch, but you still have this corner to make. And what this does is it causes the whole pattern to kind of twist. So what I wanted to show you here is do a half double crochet join. So instead of doing the chain 2, I'm going to use a half double crochet join and go to the top of the chain 3. So here, follow it up, there's the top, there's the top, there's the top. And you're going to wrap the hook going right into the top stitch of that chain 3. yarn over, pulling it through, and we're not double crocheting, so when we yarn over, we're going to pull through all 3. And this is the equivalent of a chain 2 space. So when you start with half double crochet, normally you chain up 2, that's chain 2 equals a half double crochet, and there's chain 2s on the corner, and that's why we're doing that. So if you wanted a chain 3 space, you would chain 1 first, and then a half double crochet join to do what I'm showing you here. Now in method number 1, we chained up 3, and then we kept going in the same rotation. But in this method, to keep it the center from twisting, we are going to turn the whole square upside down and begin to work on this going in the opposite direction. And this is what's causing that self-striping to have a break in the corner that doesn't look consistent like the rest of the corners. Let's begin round number 2. In round number 2, right where you're sitting, you are going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Notice how the last row looks different than what you were looking at before. You want to make sure in this method, when you're doing this, that every other row looks like this. This is the back side or the wrong side of the stitch. So you're going to apply 2 double crochet right into that same join with the half double crochet. So treat it like a chain 2 space, because that's what it is. So yarning over and put in 2 more double crochet right into that corner space. Okay, so now the chain 3 plus these 2 equals the 3 that you need. Now going forward, unless you're turning a corner, there's always a chain 1 that separates these group of 3 from each other. So in this case, the corner is next. So you're going to start off by putting in 3 double crochet in there first. So yarning over and into the next space, which is the corner. And place in 3 double crochet. Okay, we have to officially turn, so whenever you're turning a real corner, you'll chain 2. So that won't change on this pattern today. And in the same stitch, or the same space, you're going to apply 3 more double crochet to make that corner turn. So crocheters tend to like granny squares, not everybody, but it goes fast. So once you get the knack of this, you can bang these out pretty quickly. The 12-inch by 12-inch for charity squares that I did takes me about 35 minutes from start to finish. In method 1 and method 2, or option 1, option 2 doesn't matter as far as timing. It's still the same thing for time. So we chain 1, and then we're going to jump to your next corner. So you see that you jumped and made this corner. Now you're making a new corner. So 3 double crochet will get you started. So every time you go around, there will be an extra space that will appear between the corners. So in this case, there was no space between the corners. Now there's 1, the next time it'll be 2, the next time is 3, and so forth. So you can make your granny squares as big as you want to go, including a whole size bedspread. Okay, chain 2 turns the corner, and then 3 double crochet back in. Chain 1 separates the groups of 3 unless it's a corner turn. So the next space is right here. So it's part of your next corner. So it's 3 double crochet to start. Chain 2 turns the corner and then back into that same corner to make it a corner for 3 double crochet. So I can see that this corner is partially done. So this is my last side I'm working on. So I chain 1 and I go into this is called the beginning corner space because the first portion of the corner is already done. So we're going to come in here and we're going to put in 3 double crochet. I'm going to show you something on the other sample in just a second. And then we have our final to attach. Now on the other sample that I had, if you look really carefully, let's find where it is. This is, see, this is the connection spot. Do you see how this blue is here? This is because we use the connection and it will always be visible. So do you see it here? This is the white connecting. So that's what also looks out of place. It only looks in place when the color on the other side of the square or the other side of the corner is the same. So I want to do a half double crochet join to the top of the chain 3. Okay, so you just go into the chain work and then pull through everything. And at the end of this, we're going to turn our work back to where we had started. Do you see how it looks different? And then we start round number 3, and I'll be doing that next. Round number 3, I've already turned it, as you saw me do, and now we're going to start a fresh round. So we're going to chain 3 to start. 1, 2, 3, and in the same corner space, this is the half double crochet join, apply 2 more double crochet in there. Wrap the hook. Take it with you to the corner. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So that doesn't change. Do another double crochet there. Okay, and so we are going to move along. So now we have a space before the next corner. So we have to put a chain 1 will separate the groups of 3 unless you're turning an official corner. So you're going to come right into the next space. This is why crocheters love this kind of stitch, because you just got to look for a big space. And you're going to apply 3 double crochet right into that space. Train your eyes to see things in groups of 3, and then you won't have to excessively count. So now you see 3 double crochets that are there. So your next space happens to be over here. To get there, you have to chain 1. As I said, there's a chain 1 that separates these groups unless it's a turn, and then you're going to put your first group of 3 into the corner. So could you do this concept with other types of granny squares? Absolutely, 100%. The color of the yarn matters, in my opinion, on how it flows, but that's my own thought. Once you see the 3, we're going to turn the corner to make a new corner. So chain 2 and place in 3 more double crochet into that corner. Pull through 2 and 2. Once you see your new group of 3, you go to your next space, but you have to chain 1 before you get there, and then apply another 3 into the space. So you can actually do this concept and not have spaces. It's called solid granny squares. This is a traditional one. Okay, chain 1, and the corner happens to be next. So you start the first half of the corner, 3 double crochet. Chain 2 and 3 double crochet in the same one to keep that corner going. So now we're on this side, chain 1 before you start and place 3 double crochet into the next space that you see. Chain 1 separates before the next one. The next one happens to be a corner. So the very first row, our first round, we had no spaces in the middle. The next round we had 1 space, and in this round we have 2. So in the next round there will be 3, and so on and so on. Chain 2 to turn, and 3 double crochet into there. Okay, we're now on our final side. See how this looks weird? This is where we started. This is the beginning corner space. So we chain 1, go into your next space, and finish your final side. 3 double crochet into the space. Chain 1, and your next space is the corner. This is where we started. So we're going to place our 3 double crochet in there first. And now we're ready for the finish. So to finish, it's going to be a half double crochet to the top of the chain 3. And because this is the end, we turn our work and go back in the opposite direction for round number 4. So now everything until you get to the size that you want to do is done the same way. So we'll get you started on round number 4. So you're going to chain 3. I've already turned my work, you saw me do it, and place in 2 more double crochet into this corner space. So with the chain 3 and those 2, that gives you the number 3. So the only difference in the stitch work is that there's an extra space now before the next corner. So there'll be extra every time you're going around. So chain up 1 and apply 3 double crochet into the next space. Chain 1 separates the groups of 3, come into your next space. You're not in a corner yet. So you're really primarily looking for those corners. Chain 1, and now your corner is next. So you do it what you know. So it's 3 double crochet at first. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get myself around, okay, and then I'm going to show you how to fasten off, so weave in your ends, but I'm going to show you joining a new color just in case you need that option. So you're going to chain 2 to turn and place in 3 more double crochet into the corner. So what I'm going to do now is just put me on pause, or you put me on pause, and I will see you at the end of the round, and I'll show you how to finish off. So just chain 1 before you do the groups of 3, and then 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet in, chain 1, corner, and so on. I'll see you at the end of the round in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way around. See how it looks weird? That's because half of it's done. I've already chained 1 and applied 3 double crochet. So let's pretend that I'm done my square, and I'm going to add a new color in just a few moments. But so if this was the last round of this color, I would not do a half double crochet join. I would chain 2 and slip stitch it here. So if you want to keep this color going, do the half double crochet join, turn it around, and keep on going, and then turn it around at the end of that round, and so on. So if it's the last one, just chain 2 and slip stitch to the very beginning, top of the beginning, and slip stitch. Now I'm going to show you how to weave in the ends. So just leave it long enough that you can get it through a tapestry needle. You're not going to want to weave these in with your hook because they'll fall out. Take the strand and pull it through the final loop and give it a good tug. This will never fall out now, but this here will fall out. I want you to put this onto a tapestry needle, and I want you to weave this in the corner. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around and see where I am right now. I'm going to weave this through. It's better if you weave this through not just the strands, but actually through the plies. Don't be afraid to break apart the plies, because if this gets really stuck, you'll be happy about that. You're going to go through a slightly different path back in the opposite direction. See how I'm staying within this corner. Especially if I want to join new yarn, this will stay right in the corner itself, so it will not impact the look of the other stitches. Now, this is where I finished. If you really stare at it, you can see the back, front, back, and front. See how it looks different from each other. So just study that. So if you wanted to start a new color, and right where we are, okay, this is where I finished, I can see that this is the front. So I will want to turn it before I start a new color so that I can have it keeping in a sequence of going back and forth. I'm going to join a new color and show you how that's done. To start a new color, you don't need a terribly long end. You're just going to create a slip knot and put this onto your hook. You want to go, you can use any corner that you would like to, but I'm going to use the same one that I finished off with, and I'm going to make sure that the last time, this is the wrong side of this stitch here, and this is the good side. See the difference of the way it looks? So good side, wrong side, good side, wrong side. So I want this to show that the wrong side is facing me. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through that starting loop as well. Just kind of tighten things up, and you were going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now do you see this big honking knot and the straggler? We're going to trap that in right now so it gets stuck and you won't have to worry about it. So you're going to put 2 double crochet, and when you do that, you want to go right up over top of this to get it stuck inside. So this straggler should look like it's coming from the inside of the stitch, which it is. Just toss it out of the way because you can't really drag it to the next one because then it will be obvious. Just toss it to the back and we'll get rid of that in a few moments. You're going to start the sides just like you know. So you're just going to chain 1 and you're going to fill in each of the spaces with your 3 double crochet. I'm going to be very curious on whether people like this type of granny square or they prefer the traditional, or they like going around. So this is preventing the center from doing a twist. So every time there's a group of 3, chain 1. If it were me and I were you, I would make sure that the starting here is I can see it that it's the front side of this, and I would make sure that the last round is the front side. It'll look consistent. Okay, just keep on going. Don't forget to chain 1 in between the groups. So you can see there's an extra group now placed in because there was an extra space created. So every time you go around, there's more spaces. Chain 1, and now the corners here. It's going to be 3 double crochet. And then how many chains to turn? That's right, it's 2. So chain 2 and then 3 double crochet in. So I'm going to go all the way around off camera, and I'll be back in just a few moments. And we got to deal with the loose ends because we went over top of that one here. So we'll deal with that, and we'll be talking about that when we come back around. Just don't forget to chain 1 in between the groups of 3 unless it's a corner. Coming into my final corner, I'm placing my 3 double crochet. So if I wanted this color to keep on going, I would do a half double crochet join and then finish that, turn the work, and then start the next row. If I want to finish this off completely, I'm going to just chain 2 and then just slip stitch to the top of the first one, and then I would weave in the ends like I showed you. Now, we went over top of the stragglers from before, right here. Okay, this is a slip knot. This is going to be permanently stuck. If you prefer to use a slip or a tapestry needle, you can do so, but it is secured with a knot already. So technically, if you weren't watching me, I would just cut that and not worry about this. But if you really want that extra security, you just go into the back here. Just stay within the coloring of the yarn though. So don't interfere with the other color when you're weaving it in. Okay, and you're just gonna weave it through. And you wanna be a little bit gentle about it so that you don't change the anatomy of the stitch work. And you can secure it that way as well. And so when you compare the two squares together. So we have the one that we did the continuous around, and compared to this one, it looks different, doesn't it? I can even see it on the camera. So the front edge of the stitch is leaning upward, creating a line look, where this one doesn't have that because all of them are leaning forward. So like that. So it looks a little bit different, but you got to decide what you prefer. There's no right or wrong answers when it comes to crochet. It's really a personal touch. And what is your personal touch? Did you like option 1 or option 2, or do you like both or neither? That's it for today. We hope that you've enjoyed.